Hello and welcome to the Bel-E and Scratch podcast. I'm your host, Bel-E.
And I am your co-host, Scratch.
And today, I didn't really have a topic, per usual.
Naps am good.
And debilitating. Seriously, I woke up, my heart was racing. I think I was having a nightmare, but I don't know what happened.
A daymare?
A daymare. That fucking Dracula movie.
A dusk mare.
Mm-hmm. Leslie Nielsen will be dearly missed. Oh!
What?
That's what we could talk about.
What's that?
The Naked Gun series.
Oh, that's... man.
Yes!
That just warms me to think about it.
It makes me sad to think about it. Because here's the thing. The Naked Gun series, there's like 1.5, and they had all sorts of silly titles. They had one season of a TV show, but the problem is they didn't have any laugh tracks.
No laugh tracks.
So everyone was like, oh, where's the jokes? There's no laugh tracks. How about this? You're too fucking stupid to get the jokes, and you killed it.
That was something they were worried about. Personally, I was as well.
Yeah, unfortunately, this is why, hang on. That's ASMR, right? Ice pick right to your brain. Here's the thing. This actually might be part of the reason why mediocre shows have laugh tracks every 3 sentences. Like, every 3 sentences, there's a fucking joke. But yeah, you don't catch it, so
like
they
a Jimmy
have to...
Fallon monologue.
Look, I got nothing against Jimmy Fallon, but Jesus, he needs better writers. He's also the one of the few talk show hosts that I don't despise. He doesn't have...
Yeah, I mean, he's actually a talented fellow.
He genuinely is, back on SNL.
He does these musical skits.
Good musical skits.
As opposed to Kimmel. I don't even know.
I hate Kimmel.
Was he like the last Irishman left in Hollywood? I mean,
He's Irish? I thought he was Jewish. Oh, no. Sarah Silverman was Jewish.
Oh, that's the funny.
Oh, well, I could care less about Jimmy Kimmel. I mean, I think he should die in a hole. Then get covered with lies so we never have to know his location. But, let's see, I don't like Kimmel. Jimmy Fallon just needs better writers. He's not immediately punchable, is basically my biggest thing with Fallon.
No, there's no smarminess to him.
Let's see, Kimmel. I like Conan.
I like Conan,
he's
too.
Cheesy and he's goofy, but again, he's not immediately punchable.
No.
Yeah.
No. He gets it, and,
yes.
He
clearly gets it based on how he styles his hair. That is a man who has looked himself in the mirror and has found
just
himself.
Gone, hey, I get more laughs. I get 12.7 more laugh percentages if my hair
looks like this.
Looks like this.
His hair looks like a frickin' parrot's head. Yes.
For the top of a soft serve ice cream cone.
Carrot flavored.
You.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so Fallon and Conan, they're fine because unfortunately the standard has come to... Obviously no one can replace, Carson?
Yeah.
Nobody can replace that guy.
Unforgettable.
Unforgettable. Like, he had a way about him...
He was funny.
It's difficult to replicate.
I defy anybody to watch his old shows and listen to his monologues.
You still laugh.
I mean, you have to appreciate an artist in front of their audience.
Correct.
You may not get what he's talking about, but to see him work an audience, I mean, and that really was his skill. He was reputed.
Yes.
Obviously. At the time, to have some of the best writers on the planet.
Clearly.
Him and Bob Hope.
Yeah.
But
here's the thing. Unfortunately, you can't replicate Johnny Carson.
No.
But why can't we have someone who at least tries, like, you give them the good writer. Like, you basically have someone who is, like, actually charismatic and has some good writers, a good band. Well, most of them, they have pretty good bands, but that's all they do is just play instruments, or they play their music, which some of them, they do their good job.
Sure.
But the problem is that some of the talk show hosts, with the exception of Fallon, he kind of breaks even. And Conan at least makes you laugh by just how goofy and, cheesy he is.
Well, what's the guy on his show?
What, on Conan?
Yeah, on Conan. Andy Richter.
I don't know if that's his name, but I know who you're talking about.
It's Richter.
That man is ruthless, and they shut him down real quick.
Listen, that guy right there is one of the most underappreciated funny guys. He had a television show that lasted a season.
Mm-hmm.
It was off the rails. But he just doesn't have that look.
He doesn't.
He does, and he doesn't.
And he's too ruthless. They had to put a muzzle on him. And
yeah,
they basically made him Conan's sidekick.
That is obnoxiously funny guy.
Let's see. So, here's the problem. A lot of the talk show hosts, the majority of them, at least nowadays, in America, and in North America, I suppose, in general. I don't know about Canada, but still, some of them they just take it too far. Like, you just want to punch them in the face, like Jimmy Kimmel and, unfortunately, Stephen Colbert.
Yeah, he's
and Letterman.
No, he's trying to. Colbert is trying to break out of that smarminess. I mean, he looks like Colbert. The last shots I've seen of him, he looks like somebody you were visiting after church.
Yeah.
And you just show up on their doorstep and kind of let you in, He's still got his shirt on. It's kind of unbuttoned. His hair is,
little unkempt.
I'm not going to say unkempt per se, but it's not, photogenic.
He's basically trying to, make himself look more like an everyman instead of that TV show anchor look.
Yes.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing. I have relatives. Well, let me phrase that. Some of your relatives, because I've spoken with them.
I'm related to some people.
Yeah, like most other folk. They say that they didn't care for Colbert even on the Colbert Report. I thought it was funny, based on my limited understanding of anything that's going on.
I was very curious when he made that transition because
I was too.
It's very people don't understand how unique it is to be able to. I mean. To break character, and that's your character.
Yeah, and that's your character.
That's your character.
That's not a character. That's technically you.
It's like Pee Wee Herman. Could you imagine?
Paul Rubin?
Yeah. Is he ever going to be any other way than Pee Wee Herman-esque?
Yeah, but here's the thing: that Pee Wee Herman is not Paul Rubin, but Paul Rubin is Pee Wee Herman in terms of that's like a caricature that he's just you can't get out from under it.
Exactly.
That's basically what I mean. A typecast, if you will.
Yeah, I mean, Colbert has done the same thing. He created that, the completely unique persona,
which to an extent was him. And now he's just in a way where he's just not only is he acting like the complete opposite of himself, he's acting like the opposite of himself, but he's not even funny.
He's like Oprah after the 20th season.
Ooh.
It's like, yeah, I know. I mean, and obviously, I don't know if he.
I'm honestly disappointed.
I just, there are other things to talk about.
Yes, that was my primary.
There are other things that you can't deny having an agenda when all you focus on
is one subject,
one field.
And for the sake of censorship on our part, so we don't get shut down or canceled like 3 years later after the show gets popular, we will refer to the former president as the Cheeto Man.
The Cheeto Man.
That is either a good thing or a bad thing, depending on your view, but that is what we will say. Here's the thing.
Cheeto in chief.
Yeah, if there is one, here's the thing. Not to get, I don't want to stray too far away from the Naked Gun series like we were about to talk about, because I do want to talk about.
Yeah, I don't want to get into.
Here's the thing.
Elephants and donkeys.
Yeah. But here's the thing. I didn't mind when people just lost their minds with the Cheeto Man. I didn't. Because it always happens.
It always happens.
But for it to go on for 4 straight
it's ridiculous.
years of non-stop coverage, every 3 minutes was an update on the Cheeto Man from the mainstream news. And I don't even listen to the mainstream news.
Oh, you couldn't get out? I mean, it was just so smelly and sticky. I mean, it stuck to you. You couldn't get away from it.
Exactly. And now I'm just like, stop.
Well, see, that's the whole thing.
And for 4 years, Colbert was just making an ass out of himself because he would not let it go. He just wouldn't stop. Now, here's the thing. I get it.
Sure.
He got an agenda. Everyone knows Hollywood's got the agenda. It's an open secret, not even really secret anymore.
It's not even secret.
You know.
That's what's so sad about it, because it's so obvious. And people are like, what are you talking about, man?
Exactly.
Please.
So, I get it, but it's like, dude, just, if you're gonna do it, make me laugh.
Make me laugh.
Make me laugh. At the end of the day, I don't care if we disagree. I don't care if you rail against something I like or I rail against something that you like or whatever.
Well, it's
Make me laugh.
It's the lowest common denominator.
And you can't even make that funny.
There's this great scene in the film The Clumps with when Eddie Murphy has transitioned into Buddy Love. And he's in the club listening to a comedian.
Professor. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the comedian, I don't know what the character's name is, but the comedian is being played by Dave Chappelle. And you see Dave Chappelle. I love Dave Chappelle, and he plays this character to a T. This character is he's literally engaging the audience in these common, ordinary, non-funny things, observations.
He's basically insulting the audience, but he's not even being funny about it.
And acting in a very energetic and erratic kind of physical manner. Women be shopping! Women be shopping!
Yeah.
You know, everybody kind of breaks out and laughs. To constantly bang over that common, ordinary, everyday thing, it doesn't make you funny. It doesn't make you clever.
No. You have to be clever. That's part of being a comedian in the first place. It's part of being a good writer in the first place. I actually ran into that.
Really?
Yeah, involving the Cheeto Man. Okay, now, this is a story. Alright, now, I don't know if I ever spoke about this particular piece of, intellectual property on the show.
Snack food?
No. I am a very big fan of Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Sure.
And whenever I can... Oh, yeah. Do I have good taste? Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
If you have a pulse, you should have a positive aspect of
Rocky Horror.
Absolutely.
Yeah, unless you just have too much of a stick up your ass to enjoy it.
A big old stick.
Yeah, a big old stick. Yeah. Look, even highbrow people like Rocky Horror. Because it's just silly.
Yeah. And
it's so campy.
Campy.
I don't think it was made to, intentionally harm the population. It's not a societal critique on how we view music and sexuality and Frankenstein's
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you something.
monster.
Anybody that's kind of like teaching college classes based on this play or dynamics in this play, you're an idiot.
Yeah, you're an idiot.
It's just some dude going, "Hey, fucking, how about a couple of corn dogs, brother?" And just going off the bend. It's a good time.
I'm pretty sure.
That's it. It's a good time.
It's just a good time.
Stop attaching agendas to it. It's a good time. Now shut up.
Yeah. Now you can say it supports one theory, one ideology versus another, but at the end of the day, it's just for the lulz. It's just for the laughs. And whenever I can, I like to see either a live screening or a play adaptation of Rocky Horror, because it usually is one of the best nights of the year.
Usually.
Because there's going to be, music, good music, because it's Rocky Horror. Of course it's going to be good music. Fun, and booze.
And an opportunity to use your favorite stain remover before laundry.
And also an opportunity just to hurl insults at the crowd and the players.
And toast.
And toast. So much toast.
Too much toast.
Also, every now and again, you get to throw sprinkles at the stage because, yes.
Yummy.
I guess it just depends on the area.
What about Skittles? You think Skittles would work?
No, because then the people would trip on those on the stage.
Yeah.
I mean, if it was like a live viewing, sure. Or not like a live screening, sure.
Oh yeah, I see what you're saying.
But not like if it's a stage adaptation. You don't throw Skittles. Sprinkles, maybe. Okay. Toast, probably.
But if I ever do go and throw Skittles, I promise.
You will also throw toast?
I will, the Skittles, I will take them out of the bag first.
You just go pelt some poor fucker over the head with...
Oh, still, Dr. Frank-n-furter.
Bonk.
Bonk.
Take his ass out.
That's how you get. When they're wearing fishnets, that's how you get them. You don't lead them as far.
That is fucked up.
Hey, get up there wearing 4-inch heels. That's your problem, not mine, buddy.
I mean, unless they're trained, they can't run as far.
Exactly. Anyway.
But anyway. So anytime I always love going to these things. And the last time I did it, I think it was either 2018 or 2019. Definitely pre-beer flu.
Pre-beer flu.
Definitely before the beer flu. And in town, there's a particular theater. They mostly cater towards very risque and or raunchy theaters that you don't see at at a Broadway show.
Sure.
At a Broadway show, it's like The Lion King, The Phantom of the Opera.
Oh, yeah. They got the respectable joint just a couple of blocks over. Oh, yes, where all the bougie people go.
Yes.
And we've been there.
Yeah, we've been there.
But that's, symphonies and yeah,
there's the bougie theater where they have all the really classical stuff.
It's the area where they have the
money.
Where they have the market.
Yeah, exactly. And then down the street, like 4 or 5 blocks, is this theater. Actually, it's more like 7 blocks, but whatever. There's a bunch of construction, so it might change. Yeah. So, and then down the street, a few blocks, there's this place, which has like Rocky Horror, Avenue Q. I have a theory on what it's about. The Vibrator play, which is an actual thing. The cabaret play, just stuff that is not mainstream. Like you couldn't do it at the respectable theater.
That's correct. No, you could not do that there.
Yes. No, you could not. And
it's a place that does not have people's names engraved in the bricks that have built the building or the area that you walk on.
Actually, I think the guy that runs the joint has carved his name in the wall when he was drunk.
Because I once asked about it. On the sidewalk for all I know, but I'm just telling you, it doesn't happen at the other place.
I get that. I'm just saying that's just the type of place it is.
No, I mean, and they're both cool.
Yeah, they are both cool. Like the risque theater, the off Broadway theater, as I call it.
Off. It's not really risque.
There's like off Broadway.
Yeah.
The underground play. Oh, and Evil Dead the Musical.
Yes, that did go through there.
I loved it. I saw it, and I loved every second of it.
You wash that umbrella before you bring it in this house.
You ain't kidding. But anyway, so here's the thing. This off Broadway theater, it's not like it's this shanty shack out in the middle of the woods.
No.
It is a very well-made building. It's very well-maintained. It's not dirty.
It's in the trendy area.
Yeah, it's still in a trendy area, so it's not like it's a dive bar.
And it was there before any gentrification, so I will...
Yeah, and it's going to stay there.
It's going to stay there. It's been there a very long time, and it was there when it was there, and now that things have economically flipped in the area.
I hope it stays there.
Well, I'm just saying, it's always been there.
Yeah, it's always been there.
It wasn't the flipping of the economics in the area that brought it. Okay, it's been there for a long since I can remember.
Hey, I respect it. I love going over there.
I do too.
Unfortunately, they don't have because of the beer flu, and just because of something else. At some point, they stopped.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that.
I'm not sure what happened. Like a couple years ago, they stopped showing stuff that I liked. Like they started doing stuff that was either way too obscure for me to understand what was even happening, or even for me to look it up. Basically, they just wouldn't. They never did Rocky Horror again. They never did Evil Dead the Musical, Avenue Q. Like none of the really famous and/or really, really good off Broadway plays. Which is odd. I think there might have been a change of leadership, but
probably
I'll investigate that later. So back to this particular viewing of Rocky Horror, like a stage show. All right. Here's the thing. When you go to see Rocky Horror, there are some things you need to do. And if anybody listening to this knows, like, you've seen the movie of Rocky Horror, hypothetically, listeners, you've seen the movie, you're like, hey, what's a stage show like? Alright, take your notes out. There's going to be a test on this, and the test is going to be hands-on when you actually physically go to it eventually in, like, 2025.
It's hands-on, alright.
It is hands-on. Make no mistake. You got to get your mind right about that. It is hands-on. All right, look. Here's what happened. I've seen it only twice. Once with my ex and once by myself. The story I'm talking about is was the one I went to by myself. So, here's the thing. It's Rocky Horror. And there's a certain at least in my opinion, there is a certain level of decorum you must carry about yourself.
Sure.
Basically, I went to this particular stage adaptation of Rocky Horror with, I had like my big poofy party pants, which you know what that is.
Yes.
With all chains and buckles and all that wrapped around it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the ones that are still in my closet because I couldn't wear them no more.
You gotta try those on.
Yeah, I gotta try those on. Hot damn.
But you can wear them now.
Yeah, probably. Let's see. The party pants. Obviously, all the undergarments, fishnet shirt, and like a elastic harness that I made myself, and that's it. I was not wearing a shirt.
What kind of boots?
Oh, it was the platform boots.
The big ones?
Yeah, the big ones before they died.
Ah.
So, I was dressed to the nines for Rocky Horror.
Sure.
Because it's Rocky Horror. Now, obviously, I attracted attention before I got to the theater, because I walked. And it's like, everybody was freaking out, like, oh my gosh, you didn't have a shirt on. It's like, and I'm just staring at them like, it's Rocky Horror, dude. Yeah. So I get to the theater, and I don't know what the issue was. Because here's the thing. The last time I went to Rocky Horror, there were cosplayers.
Yeah.
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 The first time I went, there was cosplayers. People dressed as Riff Raff, Magenta, Columbia, Dr. Frank-n-furter, like from the show. Because obviously they couldn't dress like the characters on the stage because they didn't know what the fuck they were wearing. So there were just a dozen cosplayers. People dressed all fancy. They had the merch from the from the movie, and they were all fancy.
Yeah.
They were all there for a good time.
Right.
When I went to the one where I went by myself, I was like out of a theater of about 50 to 60 people, I was one of 5 people who were actually dressed for the event.
Yeah.
Everybody else was wearing casual stuff. And by casual, I mean plain t-shirts. There was a couple people in polos and those duck shoes.
Huh.
Like a bunch of normies, essentially.
Interesting.
And, yeah, that was interesting. I got spooked because I was like, what the fuck is going on?
Maybe the content was changed by the gentrification of the area.
Probably, because there was a bunch of people in there that looked like they had no business being in that theater.
Well,
And I
guess it happens.
Oh, no. You don't understand.
I remember the original Rocky Horror.
Yeah, you do.
I remember when it first came out. I remember reading about it in the newspaper.
Oh, how much waves it must have made.
Well, I mean, it was just this thing. It was this thing that you kept hearing about it. Mm-hmm. You read about it in the newspaper. Obviously, nothing more than an occasional article in the entertainment section, plus the ad in the movie advertisement section.
Yes.
And obviously any image from Rocky Horror, plus the name Rocky Horror, obviously, is just perfect.
Mm-hmm.
The name itself stays with you. Heard about it at school when it came out. I was in middle school.
Yeah.
And high school. Heard about it at school. You heard about it in the churches because it was the next thing it was going to bring there.
Yeah, along with David Bowie.
Yeah, along with David Bowie.
Of course.
And so, I mean, it was something that was around.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, you constantly ran into, and this is what I think, obviously I have a classmate, they're in middle school, they're not old enough to get into a movie, but they have an older sibling that went to it and then told them about it. So they come into school talking about like they went.
Oh, I hate that.
And that was a little bit of a drag.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people, because me, I'm in the bar. I'm like, they're not gonna let you in. Period.
Yeah. No, I get it. I get it.
Because I mean, these were like midnight showings.
Oh yeah, that's
it was a midnight showing, and then there was like maybe a second showing, and I don't know, 2:00 in the morning.
Probably.
But it was one of these things. It was one of these one or two of the theaters in the town in the city that was nearby where I was living at the time.
And of course, all the weirdos come out at midnight.
Yeah.
So they went they went to the show.
And it found its way into pop culture. And,
yeah.
But
yeah, but here's the thing.
But it just refused to go away.
Exactly, because it's good.
And then you started hearing these stories about people that had seen it for 121
times.
Like 121 times.
Yeah,
that was something that I'd heard about people watching Jaws multiple times.
Sure.
Star Wars multiple times.
Sure.
The Exorcist multiple times.
I don't want to get into that right this second. That's a paywall story.
You're usually like 5, 10, 12. And people started talking about Rocky Horror. They were talking like 60.
They were like in the double and
triple digits. It was like ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. What I definitely did figure out very, very quickly, beside all the people that did not belong there.
Yeah.
Clearly.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously there was that part of the crowd that obviously was there because it was a midnight showing or midnight stage play.
Yeah.
But there was that element of people who did belong there. But what had happened was usually with a stage adaptation with Rocky Horror, there are 3 to 4 people who are kind of they're basically the people who sing the opening song, science fiction, and they're just kind of like stage hands, but they're on the stage. They're usually wearing black. They're in the show kind of like a spirit, but not really. I don't remember what the actual name of them was. But these 4 individuals, now this is actually really ridiculous. We were all starting to get our seats, and also, the number one mistake I made with this show was I did not get any booze. If you're going to go to a live screening or stage play of Rocky Horror, you need some alcohol in your system.
I'd recommend it.
I definitely recommend it. I have the experience to back it up. Because I've done it once with the beer and once without it. And let me tell you, the one with it was way more fun.
If you're without it, you're... everybody else isn't, so...
Yeah, exactly. So what had happened was before the play got on, these four quote unquote stage spirits that are supposed to sing the opening song, they're going around the crowd talking to people, being all salacious and sexual because it's part of their act.
Sure.
Whatever. I get it. I wasn't mad. They didn't touch me.
Sure.
Because they didn't touch me because they took one look at me and realized I knew what I was there for. But they fucking hounded the people who were all normies, these very clearly privileged white kids that just kind of flew in, and they were like, with their boys, the polo shirts and the dock shorts, and they're all like, hey, Joseph, they have a screening they have a stage show for something called Rocky Horror. Hey, sure, we ain't got nothing better to do, and they bought their tickets.
Right.
It was very clear that either they did not know what they were getting themselves into, or this was just...
That'll happen. Yeah,
it will happen. It actually did happen. Because one of the people that sat behind, there was like two groups of friends who were sitting behind me. One of them knew what they were there for, but one of the stage spirits, they asked someone behind me, have you seen any, you like Rocky Horror? You seen the movie? Have you seen the show at all?
Yeah.
And she said that she has neither seen a stage play nor has she seen the movie.
So she had no context of what she was involved in.
It had zero
that's cool.
context for what was about to go down.
Sweet.
And no. Yeah,
but that's how you make an impression on people.
No, this was not the play to make an impression.
Okay.
Trust me, I'm going to get into that. Because this was potentially one of the worst adaptations of Rocky Horror. It wasn't completely bad, but there was some stuff in there that I went, hey, that isn't cool, okay?
Really?
Yeah. That ain't cool. But, what had happened was, this chick had no context, and these stage spirits people, they would basically, typically with a Rocky Horror Live play,
yeah,
they'll go around the crowd, and they'll find people who had never seen the play before, and they'll usually haze them a little.
Sure.
I read one place where they gave them a spanking with a paddle.
Oh.
They shouted virgin at them from the stage. Yeah. At this place, they took out a tube of red lipstick and wrote V on people's foreheads who had never seen a stage play of Rocky Horror.
Okay, first of all, the fact that you would allow somebody to do that to you definitely tells me that,
you're a bitch.
Number one, that you deserve it.
Yes.
Number two, you have never seen what you're involved in.
Oh,
and number three, yes, you're a
bitch.
You're a bitch.
Yeah.
Do what you gotta do.
Yeah.
Don't touch me.
Exactly. Exactly. And I knew immediately that this place was in trouble because I looked around the crowd because I saw all of them do this. Like, all four of these stage spirits were putting V's on people's foreheads.
Oh, man.
And I looked around the seating area, and a good solid 80% of the people in the audience were V's. And I looked around, and I immediately went, oh, shit. Where the fuck are these people coming from? Why are you here? 80% of the audience?
Well, I guess, you gotta break them in sometime.
I get it, but this was not the play to do it.
Well, can't disagree with that entirely.
No. Basically, this play could have gone better.
So how far out of control did this play go?
Okay.
I mean, if you're going to take the time to mark 80% of the audience,
okay.
You might as well just start bust the joint up. You know what I'm saying?
I wish I could.
You just wade into the audience and start whooping people's ass that they don't know.
Okay.
Hey, man, you're part of the floor show. Welcome to Hollywood. Wham.
Flap, 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 flap. Yeah,
They don't know.
Look. I wish I could sit here.
You know, you can't hold people's expectations hostage, you know.
Okay, now hang the fuck on, all right? Before we get this train out of the station, before we head to Busan.
Did I let something out of the bag?
All right, look.
I mean, what are they going to do? They're going to punk out and walk out?
Look, I don't know. I wish I could sit here and tell you that the show was fantastic.
Yeah.
Now, granted, I was stone sober.
Yeah.
That did not help.
Well, I mean, it's not a
requirement, but it is an encouragement.
Sure.
But this was definitely a show where I should have had a drink. Because they jumped off the rails. But not to the point where I would have called the police.
Sure.
Like, they floated just under that little radar, where I would have had to call the cops and been like, yes, operator, there is a man who is completely naked and he is covered in blood. He's on the stage. I don't think the blood's fake. I know ER people. I know what blood looks like. But either way, he's naked, and I'm pretty sure that there's no permit for that.
Yeah, there's no permit for that in city limits.
Yeah, exactly.
Nope. Not live on stage.
Not live on stage.
Oh, my goodness.
No, it's not that type of city.
No.
But,
not a lot of PCP in this town. None that I'm aware of.
Yeah, give it 20 years.
Yeah, give it 20 years.
So, no one got naked, they got close.
Yeah.
Like, borderline, uncomfortably up on the edge close.
Uh-huh.
I didn't have an issue with that, because it's Rocky Horror.
5 o'clock shadow.
I don't want to talk about it. Let's just say, except for the chicks, no one on stage knew what a razor was. I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Oh,
it was
that's awful.
Yeah. It was. Yeah, they had no clue what a razor was. So that wasn't the biggest issue. It was an issue. That wasn't the biggest one.
There's a broscaping.
Sure. At least for a stage show, Jesus. Be classy about
Probably
it.
hadn't washed in a month.
Ugh. Well, they are actors, so.
Exactly.
So here's what went down. All right, I had no problem. Like, the music was good, the acting was good, the set design was really good. But to compare and contrast the first time this studio had Rocky Horror, like the first time I saw it.
Yeah.
And then the last time I saw it, it was night and day. The first time I saw it...
Well, I'm sure it was a different company.
No, it was the same place.
No. I mean, different touring company.
Mm-mm.
Same company?
Yeah, same company.
Oh, okay.
The whole theater, it's just
No,
local
I'm not talking
people.
about theater.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. They put theirs on locally.
Yes, it's
all
they
don't have
local. No. It's not like the bougie
it's
theater.
It's the other place that has the
tours,
okay.
Yeah.
So this was
all locals, all
That's right.
unknowns, no
Okay.
touring.
Yeah, no, you're
not
right.
the same
You're right.
casting, obviously, but definitely the same group of people.
This season, my version of Rocky Horror will be instrumental. Yeah,
I think that's what the director had in mind. Because, all right, look, I know it's I get the fact that Rocky Horror is, it's like a Alphabet Mafia staple.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll have to explain that one to you. Look, I get it's a staple of I don't want to say it just in case YouTube decides to get weird, but I get it's part of the Alphabet Mafia staple and all that stuff because of the queer representation in Frank-n-furter. Gotta make the statements. Here's the problem: when you start to have the main like Frank-n-furter.
Yeah.
When his primary jokes consisted purely of politically fueled agenda jokes.
Oh, really?
That's when I'm like, what does this have to do with what's happening? Like, this is just after the time warp. Why are you...
Oh, that's lazy.
Yes, it
That's lazy.
That made me so angry. Look, I get it. Look, I get it. You know, obviously no one in this house was a red elephant.
No.
Nobody. You know, I'm not one either. I don't care.
No.
But, dude, why are you pandering? This is just after the time warp, and you just made some kind of quip about the Cheeto Man. What does he have to do with anything that's happening?
That's ridiculous.
That is ridiculous. There was, that...
I wouldn't care if you had... I mean, it wouldn't care.
No.
If you traded Cheeto Man out with... Sleeping Uncle.
Yeah, Sleeping Uncle.
I mean, I would hate
it just the same.
I would hate it just. I'm not there for that.
Yeah.
I get enough of that.
Cheeto Man and Sleepy Uncle have nothing to do with the time warp.
Nothing to do with the time warp.
Nothing.
Oh man, that's crap.
The two other things that I really did not care for was there was that, and every time Frank-n-furter made a crack about the Cheeto Man, the entire A theater would just be like, and I'm just sitting in my seat going, what's funny? That wasn't even a joke. It was just a statement. Right. It wasn't even a joke.
It wasn't even a joke.
It's back to that Dave Chappelle in the Nutty Professor thing.
Yeah. Women be shopping.
Women be shopping.
Women be shopping.
Orange Man bad.
Orange Man bad.
The exact same thing.
Oh, that's
not clever. Not even structured like a joke. It wasn't even a knock joke. It was just a statement, and the entire theater just laughed uproariously.
I only have one word for groups that do that.
Yes.
Bah! Thank you. I don't get it. I don't get where somebody can't, to me, yeah, I'm there to kick off my shoes.
Yeah,
and
that's definitely what Rocky Horror, yeah.
But I don't go to, when I want, if I want to be I'm just this way. If I want politics, I want politics. I don't want, especially in something like that. It's established.
I went there to escape from all that bullshit.
Are we just people that enjoy canon? I don't know.
Oh, speaking of canon.
If
the other two things about that show, that particular show that I despised.
Yeah.
Was, okay, in order of how bad.
Yeah.
In order of how bad I felt after this kept happening, or let me phrase that, in order of heinousness, first there was like the political statements after just as Frank-n-furter's wisecracks, which I'm like, yeah, that's not even funny. This has nothing to do with what's happening. Okay, that's the least offensive in my opinion. I was annoyed and I was like, I better not go ask for my money back. The second most offensive thing, and I know Rocky Horror, whatever, but seriously, the other thing is, for some reason, I don't know if this was a directorial thing, I highly doubt that the actor playing Frank-n-furter suggested this.
Yeah.
Because this came up way too often in order for it to just have been a that guy thing. This had to have been a writing and or director thing for this thing to be included. Frank-n-furter in this particular story had a flat plate, like an actual dinner plate, and had a golden, like a sparkly golden painted dildo taped to it, and had an obsession with putting it in everyone's faces, especially Janet, the lady playing Janet.
Really?
Seriously. Like, she would be, like, having a moment where she's telling Brad, like, we gotta get out of here, or something like that, and he would just, Frank-n-furter, the guy playing Frank-n-furter, would just creep up to her, and would slowly try to stick it into her mouth as she spoke. And I'm sitting there like, that is not cool.
That's extra lazy right
there. That is
there.
extra lazy. That's not cool. That is uncalled for.
That might be exactly why you haven't seen the production since.
No. It gets worse.
No, I don't disagree. I'm not saying it doesn't get worse. I'm just saying that
was bad. That's not canon.
No, that's definitely not canon.
Look, I get it. If it was like a one-time thing where he's like, look at this thing I made, then it would have been like, oh my God, Frank-n-furter, you crazy son-bitch. But the fact that he kept doing it, like, consistently, obviously the lady playing Janet got the brunt of it. Brad got some of it.
Right.
Magenta, Columbia, Riff Raff, the
Eddie.
Actually, Eddie got the axe, but that's a spoiler.
And
Rocky didn't, for some reason. Well,
interesting.
Probably because the guy playing Rocky was like 5'2" and built like a bodybuilder.
All right.
I'm pretty sure he was enough of a threat to where if that started to happen to him, he would have made it stop very quickly. Seriously, his biceps and triceps together looked like a watermelon.
Well,
I'm not joking. Yeah, that he was like it. I mean, the professor in the wheelchair. I forget his name. You know who I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know you're talking about it. I can't remember the name either.
It was German because everyone kept saying Sing Heil every time he spoke.
Sure.
Or Sig Heil, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody gets their own little catchphrase.
Yeah.
So that was that
That's
right
just
there.
Lame.
That was lame, and it's not canon. I was pissed because I'm just like, hey, stop. All right. The most egregious thing.
Yeah.
And this is coming from me as a not as a person who likes Rocky Horror. This is coming from me as a female.
Yeah.
This rocked me to my core when I saw it, to the point where I damn near got up, and I almost killed Frank-n-furter. Well, obviously he wasn't the only person, but I would have gone up there with I would have taken my leather belt off and started beating people.
I will climb these stairs and I will kill the first 3 people I see.
Yeah, that was me for like 3 seconds. Not collectively, but whatever.
Sure. Not in a row.
Ooh, not in a row. No, not consecutively. No. Okay, let's see. We had the political statements, the dick on a plate, and then the most horrifying thing.
It's just a on a plate.
No.
Yep.
The lady, I don't know. The lady playing Janet.
Yeah.
I don't know if there was like backstage drama.
Yeah.
I don't know if I don't know if she's a good person. I don't know if she's a horrible person.
Obviously.
I don't know who this lady is.
Thank God.
Yeah, thank God. But regardless of the circumstances leading to this performance, good person, bad person, not my place to say. Okay, you remember earlier how I said they got borderline close to being nude?
Yeah.
She was the primary target of it.
Uh-huh.
And I don't mean when, Brad and Janet get stripped down of their skivvies before they go see the revival of Rocky, because that is canon.
Sure.
I don't mean that. I mean that woman damn near... If I did not watch that actress get damn near sexually assaulted for about an hour and a half. I don't mean play acting. I don't mean acting. I mean possibly actually assaulted on stage.
Really?
Seriously.
Oh.
I'm talking grabbing, groping. Rocky is just, because there's the scene where it's, Janet and Rocky because,
Yeah.
He's like throwing her around and being hyper aggressive in a way where she looked distressed.
Uh-huh.
I'm not fucking with you.
No, I got you.
I'm not fucking with you. Like, there was a couple points where, here's the thing, there's a difference between acting afraid, or let me phrase that, there were moments where the character Janet is supposed to be enjoying herself.
Right.
Because that's what the scene is.
Yeah.
I saw flashes of fear in her eyes.
Oh, that's bad.
Like, a slight twinge of doubt and fear flashing across her face before she quickly settles back into pretending like she's enjoying herself.
Huh.
No, there was
method actors.
Oh no! Oh God! I can't.
No, I mean, I understand that.
I can't get the look.
I mean, that is just an escalation of a scene that already took place.
True.
There's a difference between that and an escalation of an event that is already in the story.
Yeah.
But as far as the political jokes, the
dick on the plate,
the phallus on a platter.
Yeah.
To me, and I got something for you non-canon people.
Yeah.
Go find your own vehicle. Go write create
your own vehicle.
Your own vehicle for your agenda. Okay? I think that's simple enough.
Leave Rocky Horror out of it.
Leave Rocky Horror out of it. Look what you've done to Star Wars. Look what you've done to the entire Marvel comic book library.
Seriously.
Go get your own thing. We believe. Okay, well then go do it.
Yeah, why do you not...
You gotta hijack everything that's already in place.
Why do you have to hijack something that's established to convey your ideas when you could instead just find another thing to convey your ideas?
All these directors and producers...
Because it doesn't
that is in your membership.
Yeah.
Go create your own content and then support it. That's fair.
That's fair.
That's fair.
But they won't do it because...
But they won't do it.
Because it won't stand.
Because it won't stand. Because they won't support their own product.
Exactly. But for some reason...
Because all they're interested in is ruining everybody else's day.
Yeah, it's not a matter of what you believe versus the other person. No, you just want everyone to stop having fun.
Pretty much.
You're
that spoiled kid.
Yeah, you're that spoiled kid that every time the rules change, they take their ball and go home.
Well, the rules, that's right. The rules don't support you.
No.
It isn't just, maybe the rules aren't wrong. Maybe you are.
Yeah.
Okay. Go do your own thing. Go do your own. I mean, hey, and if it's, I don't care. Mm-hmm. It doesn't make any difference to me. I guarantee you, I have never looked at a work. Now, listen, I don't want to see people. I'm not interested in overt and gratuitous stuff. But I don't turn my nose up to content just because it might involve something I don't necessarily agree with.
Sure.
If it's good, it's good.
If it's good, it's good. That's the thing.
Okay.
No,
And the reason that a lot of that stuff bombs is because it isn't good.
It just wasn't good in the first place.
Wasn't good in the first place. It doesn't make a difference what the content is, for crying out loud.
So they basically just have to wear these things as like a makeshift skin suit in order to get it through. I guess. No, I will never forget the look. Not only the look on that actress's face while she was on stage, but I actually saw her in the bathroom after that performance, because all the actors are coming out and they're like, "Hey, it's me. I was Rocky. Hey, I was Brad," and all that stuff. Just, shaking hands and all that fun stuff.
Sure.
Talking to people.
Sure.
I went to the bathroom, took care of that, and I got out of there. And that actress, she walked in, and she walked right past me into the next stall, and. All right, now, I'm not a psychologist. I'm not even someone who deals with other human beings in terms of trauma.
Sure.
But I know what a 1,000-yard stare looks like.
Yeah. Yeah, you do.
It was very surreal. She obviously had her civilian clothes on. Like her hair was kind of pinned back with a couple bobby pins.
Yeah.
But her eyes were just looking forward, but there was no gears turning. It was complete emptiness. And that's when I knew. I went, oh, shit. I tried to talk to her. She didn't hear me. I left it alone.
Right.
Because, first of all, I'm not qualified to deal with that. And second of all, I don't know the procedure on how to deal with that. Because, what if she rebound, hypothetically, I called the cops and say, hey, this woman just got actually assaulted. Can you bring an officer over? And she rebounds and like, oh, it's part of the show. Don't be worried. Then I get in trouble because she's like, I'm not going to stand up to these folks. That has happened to people.
Yeah, it has. And the best thing you can do in any
circumstances,
and that comes from being in those types of situations or interacting with a couple of people who I could call out a couple of names, and every person, single solitary person that would hear the names that I would speak would know who these people are.
I would chill.
I've met people on that level, and the best thing you can do is just act like a human being.
Oh no, I know that.
Just be a human being.
Yeah.
And if it helps, fine. If it doesn't help, fine. Go your own way.
Yeah.
But you don't have to do anything special. You don't have to have any skills.
That is actually the one thing that
same thing that makes you cry makes me cry. The same thing that makes you laugh makes me laugh. We are all human beings. We're all in this world trying to get through this existence one day at a time.
Yes.
That's all you need.
No. I'm not saying that you shouldn't be act like a human being. If I ever, anytime I encountered people who mostly at my ex-retail job who, for one reason or another, they weren't altogether there. I don't mean in terms of mental illness. I usually will also mean like in terms of drugs as well.
Yeah.
One time I worked a morning shift and some lady came at like 9 in the morning. She came in drunk. I could smell the vodka.
Ooh.
And
the
vodka.
How much vodka you got to drink to be able to smell it?
She wasn't Russian.
I do personally, actually.
Yeah, you do. Enough for 3 Russian families.
Wow.
Specifically Russian.
And a Ukrainian.
Oh yeah. Oof. But yeah.
Yeah, that's
that was rough. I said to myself, if I ever come back here, I have to bring somebody with me. Because if something like that were to happen again, where they have the political they have the dick on the plate, or whatever the equivalent is.
Right.
God forbid it's anything other than that. Because you could get away with making that funny, but if they straight up, present a opposite anatomy on a silver platter.
Sure.
That's not funny.
No, that wouldn't be funny at all.
That wouldn't be funny at all. And if another...
I guarantee you that place would be getting shut down.
Yeah, and then burnt to the ground.
And
if another actor gets assaulted and potentially struggle-snuggled... I'm not trying to be funny. I'm just trying to get by the censors.
I know you're not. I know you're not trying to be funny.
I'm not trying to make fun of it. I'm not trying to downplay it. That's just how we have to talk about it, and it makes me angry.
I hope things have changed. I mean, because it's been a while.
Yeah, it has.
Some things have changed.
It has
to.
Allow
that sort of thing.
It has
ridiculous.
To.
I mean,
next time I want to bring another person. I don't care if it's you. I don't care if it's anybody else. Seriously, a coworker. I want someone to be there for when that stupid shit goes down. I want to look at them and say, do we need to call the police? To get a second opinion.
Yeah, 2 heads are better than one.
Precisely.
Sure.
Because I'm just, I was also like, can I get a second opinion over here, bro? Like, seriously, what the fuck am I looking at?
That's ridiculous.
That was ridiculous. And I hope that lady is okay.
Yeah.
I hope she's in a better place.
Yeah, definitely.
I wish her the best. For realsies, not joking, not being sarcastic. I wish her the absolute best. That was not cool.
No, that's not
Seeing
cool.
someone brutalized, like anybody, doesn't have to be a chick, is seeing anybody brutalized like that, and everyone's just cheering and laughing like it's a part of the show, that has got to be some heavy-duty trauma llamas.
Trauma, true. True.
All right. I think I've dampened the mood enough. It's time to go back to Naked Gun because I need to get out of this.
What always got me about Naked Gun was the lead-in sequence.
Yes. The police car,
the flashing light that just ran around and ran into stuff, and
it had no rhyme or reason.
The roller coaster,
the Death Star, I think that was a Family Guy episode.
Great.
But
yes, Family Guy did do it.
But still, they did that. They drove the car into people's houses, into the bathroom.
Right,
Someone's taking a bath, and they just run right into the bathroom.
I mean, it was fantastic.
Run it through a store.
It was so good because everything had become, once again, we talk about how these artistic avenues become very homogenized.
This was not
formulaic,
yeah.
And this was the antithesis of that type of television formula.
It was so
creative. Good. It was fantastic, and
the movies too.
The movies too. The movies,
especially
they all
the movies.
Work. They all. I don't care. I mean, yeah, they're stupid, but they all work.
Leslie Nielsen.
Leslie Nielsen and George Kennedy, who played his boss. They gelled very well.
Oh yeah, chemistry was on point. The dialogue was snappy.
It was very
laughed.
Good.
The set pieces were good. The action and the stunts were good. The jokes landed. But here's the thing: these are the Naked Gun series franchise, I guess.
Yeah, it's franchise. Absolutely.
because it's a TV show and a bunch of movies.
Sure.
They were so good.
They were good.
But you don't hear about them.
No.
Seriously, I've heard of Laurel and Hardy before I heard of the Naked Gun in recent years.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not taking anything away from Laurel and Hardy, but in terms of comedic genius, they have the historical vantage, and that's kind of it.
Yeah.
Seriously, Abbott and Costello, Three Stooges, I would watch them over Laurel and Hardy.
Naked Gun definitely does not get the credit.
It does not, even close.
Not even close.
Seriously, for all the wacky comedy movies that have come back in the previous couple of years, not the Naked Gun.
No, because I mean
I know why.
Oh, because
there's several reasons.
What I would suggest is number one. Leslie Nielsen is dead.
True, and it makes me sad.
It's very difficult to recreate that type of part that he was able to play.
He was the best part.
He absolutely was the best part. And then there's the writing. Obviously, it's very hard to recreate the writing,
especially in this climate.
Not that's in line with.
Not with the original spirit of the show, the franchise.
No. Just watch the movie Airplane.
I love Airplane.
It's very simple, but it works.
I love it. My favorite part of Airplane is when one of the stewardesses asks if someone knew how to fly, and the entire cabin flips their shit. Like, everyone's throwing stuff on the ground. Someone's topless for no reason. There's like I think he's a Buddhist, just trying to strangle a nun. Yeah. And then there's two dudes who are just fencing in the aisle for no reason while confetti and paper flies around them. And it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
But the number one reason, listen to me. The number one reason why we don't hear about the Naked Gun series anymore at all, like not even slightly promoted.
Learn us.
It's because of one motherfucker who fucked everything up.
Yeah.
And took Naked Gun with him.
Okay.
O.J. Simpson.
Oh. Yeah.
He had a prominent role in the Naked Gun franchise. Like a prominent, like speaking, major lead role to an extent. Obviously, he was...
Oh, at the hook on the third movie. When he's doing the touchdown dance with the baby.
The baby.
I absolutely lost my mind. the baby carriages, the postal workers that were coming down the stairs with AR-15s.
Because, you know.
And AK-47s, yeah, because, yeah.
Because that was happening.
But when he was doing the
touchdown dance.
When he was doing the touchdown dance with that baby, and then all of a sudden he winds up and gets ready to spike the kid, and they cut away. Oh man, I'm gonna tell you,
that was funny.
I thought I was gonna lose my mind.
But that's the problem. Ever since the initial allegation, I don't know if it was ever proven true, and I'm not gonna say yay or nay on the subject.
Oh,
basically, there was the initial controversy.
Yeah, who cares?
Yeah, after all this time.
Yeah, after all this time.
In further years,
no.
yeah, it's not worth it. And several years later, he, does dumb stuff, winds up in jail, and he just never recovered.
Right.
And the problem is that he was a very prominent person in the Naked Gun franchise.
He was.
And it's like, because his name was attached to it, it just immediately shut down anything for the Naked Gun.
Excuse me.
Because he was associated with it.
I don't remember if he was in the television series.
I'm not sure either,
I think he was.
But still.
But definitely the movies.
Actually, I know for a fact that is the case, that because of that some bitch, that Naked Gun has gotten less and less credit over the years.
Right.
And only a select few of the cult members will carry on its name, and I will.
Yeah.
I know for a fact it was because of him, and I'm going to tell you why.
Why?
This is a weird segue, but you gotta follow me with this.
Sure.
All right. There is a channel called Defunct Land on YouTube. I like to watch it.
Yeah.
Talks about roller coasters that used to exist, the history behind them, the people behind them, what happened.
The number of people killed.
Yeah, he actually does that. He talked about the Captain EO ride.
Captain EO.
He talked about that, like all the history behind that ride getting put into production.
Now I remember.
Yes, I know you remember.
I remember them talking about building Captain EO.
Yeah, he talks about all the history behind it, people involved, how it came to be. It's actually a really good video. It's like he makes little mini documentaries.
All right.
Talks about a ride called Extraterrestrial, which was based on aliens, but then George Lucas kind of got butthurt because the Titanic for some reason. It's a weird segue. You have to watch the video for it to make sense.
All right.
I'm trying to think. There was hang on. My favorite video of his, my favorite video of his, where he just talks about something that would never, ever exist.
Yeah.
Ever. What is it? Defunct Land.
Cheeto Man Skin Moisturizer.
Action Park.
What?
Action Park.
Oh, Action Park,
He talks about that too.
Oh, he does?
Yes. And there's a kill count.
Really?
Oh, it's higher than you think it is.
6?
More than 6.
Double digits? I don't want to know.
Yes, you do.
Oh, I don't.
But he basically talks about like the history of the Nickelodeon Hotel, the Jaws ride, the Green Lantern ride, the failure of Euro Disney, history of Hong Kong Disney, all stuff like that. And I like it.
Euro Disney's dead?
No, it's not dead. It's just when it initially was announced.
You know, Disney never does allow anything negative to be said about them.
You know, that's actually a good point. How the hell is Defunct Land still functioning?
I don't know.
How is Defunct Land not defunct? I think he either has has very little notoriety, or he's coming at it from a very objective perspective, like a documentary, where they just kind of let it slip by. And he mostly does it to bash the previous CEO of Disney, like during the 90s, Michael Eisner.
Eisner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He mostly does it to bash him. He's not bashing the current administration. So I guess that also helps.
I wouldn't recommend it.
No, I wouldn't, because they'll probably say...
Dun, 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 dun.
I'm 50%... Dun, 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 dun. Yeah. I'm about 85...
Lock, stock, and barrel, buddy.
Yeah, I'm about 85% sure the current Disney administration would send people to assassinate you in your sleep if you ever talk negatively about them.
They've already taken care of the young Padawans.
Yeah. Yeah, about 30 of those kids got a vibe check and they did not pass.
Oh.
What makes you think you're gonna pass? Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, so,
Women be shopping.
Exactly. Is that gonna be a new catchphrase?
I don't know.
Like, every time something like that happens...
Just throw some non sequitur out.
Well, I don't know. I'm just wondering, like, every time we talk about someone not being funny, we just say, women be shopping.
That's a good way to start.
All right, I'm writing it down.
Yeah.
Women be shopping. I wrote ba. Damn it.
Yeah.
Women be shopping.
Women be shopping.
All right. I clearly didn't get enough out.
No, I mean, it's ridiculous to me that I see. I mean,
we knew Disney was evil, but they're just extra evil. Like, they don't even care.
They're definitely. I think they've got. It's just like the whole Star Wars franchise.
Ugh.
I think they've got people in high positions making decisions that are bad.
Exactly.
And I think. Well, it's kind of like this. It's like what's going on with the latest Star Wars franchise.
You mean The Mandalorian, or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The person that is making the decisions, the ultimate top person making decisions on that series is the person that flushed the Star Wars sequels.
Yeah.
So they need to get that person out.
Yeah, because...
You've already proven to me that you can't get the job done.
Clearly.
Why do I let you keep making decisions?
Yeah. If I was in the board of Disney, she would not exist.
No,
like,
she
I don't look. No. I don't look. Listen to me.
She's still employed.
I don't mean fired. I mean no longer exists.
Oh man, I still can't even. I mean, how can you flush an entire? I mean, arguably, the most popular movie in movie history.
Yes.
I mean, there's like Gone with the Wind.
Yes.
And then there's Star Wars. I mean, what else is there?
Citizen Kane.
Citizen Kane.
Mostly because it was groundbreaking.
It was very groundbreaking.
But still.
I mean, how can you flush that kind of
I don't want to
series?
Yeah, I don't want to be a dead horse, but how do you uck up Star Wars to the point where you can't even sell the toys?
You can't sell them.
That's how I knew it was dead in the water. By the second movie at my retail job, we stopped selling Star Wars.
You got
stuff.
kids in preschool that are so informed because they sit there and play with their smartphones and interact with their little preschool peers. And Star Wars is so uncool. Those kids don't even want the toys.
Exactly.
I mean, come on.
Seriously.
What are you going to buy? Star Wars pillows for your infants and toddlers and preemies, and I mean those, because they literally don't have the ability to refuse it.
Exactly.
How bad can you flush something?
Yeah, I don't want to beat this dead horse any more than we
I
already
don't do
have,
what you do, but that's
fucked up.
That's fucked up, man. Yeah.
They're gonna have to reboot
bad.
it. They're gonna have to reboot it with somebody else because they have no other option.
They don't.
Because it's a dead franchise, and if I know anything about capitalist Disney, they don't want a dead franchise.
No, they don't want a dead franchise. That's why they're cutting out all this content from years ago and making it...
making it available on Disney Plus?
Yeah, Disney Plus, but you have to be an adult.
Yeah.
A G movie that you have to be an adult to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure, bro. Whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
Anyway. So... basically, I'm trying to think what happened before Star Wars. What we were talking about. Oh, yeah. The Naked Gun. The YouTube channel Defunct Land, they have a kind of a side skit that they do called Defunct Land TV, or just Defunct TV, talking about TV shows that used to be on, but they're no longer on.
Yeah.
Stuff like Reading Between the Lions, Bear in the Big Blue House, stuff like that. Mostly kid shows.
Right.
Legends of the Hidden Temple, stuff like that. And I know, this speaks more to my generation. I get it. So, there was a TV show he covered that I had never seen before. I may have seen clips of it, but I don't think I did. Something about, basically a 90s Alice in Wonderland TV show. It's like an edutainment live action thing. I'm not going to go into the details because there's an entire episode talking about it, and I do recommend it. It's very well informed and whimsical. This show was slated to have about 100 episodes total before they canned it.
100?
100 episodes-ish.
Wait a minute. From the start?
From the start to the show ended.
They knew they were going to do 100 episodes?
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
The first season was very successful.
Oh, obviously.
Like I said, I'm not going to go into the details because Mr. Defunct Land, I forget the guy's name. I'm sorry, bro. He already covers it. He does a very fine job. Very analytical, very straightforward, very objective, and I appreciate it.
Cool.
There was an episode.
Yeah.
That never aired because it was it was slated to air like around the same time as the O.J. Simpson trials, and they locked it into the vault. It is never going to see the light of day, and the only reason we know it exists is because they had like a script picture book where it's basically the script of the show with pictures of the recording of the show.
Right.
Like little scene clips.
Yeah.
Or little screenshots of the actual episode.
Yeah.
They filmed it, shot it, wrote it, everything, but it never aired.
Uh-huh.
The episode is called White Rabbits Can't Jump.
White Rabbits Can't Jump.
Yes.
Oh.
And here's the thing. This Alice in Wonderland show, it would have guest stars on it every now and again. Some people I remember off the top of my head that were on the show was Willie Nelson came in. He was like a bard because what else are you gonna have him do?
Sure.
And Gilbert Gottfried for some reason.
Town crier.
He was actually the guy who would bully the White Rabbit, or no, not the White Rabbit, the March Hare.
All right.
Don't ask me questions.
No.
It's all covered in the video.
The answer will not satisfy.
No, it will not.
I will
You gotta watch the video. So, every now and again they would have guest stars, but this one episode.
Yeah.
This episode called White Rabbits Can't Jump. Mm-hmm. The White Rabbit, he like wants to play basketball, but for some reason he just can't. Or not basketball, football, but he just can't for some reason. And his idol was O.J. Simpson. And then O.J. Simpson magically appears in Wonderland as himself, gives the rabbit a pep talk, and the rabbit wins the game.
Wait a minute.
And
in live action,
yes.
O.J. Simpson,
yes,
shows up and gives the rabbit a pep talk.
Who is also live action dude in a suit and rollerblades.
I would ask you what you've been smoking, but I know you don't smoke.
This did not come from me. I did not make
Wait a minute. Stop.
This up.
Oh, okay. I'll be sorry. You telling me that I can look at a screen and see a shot of O.J. Simpson talking to a white rabbit?
A man in a white rabbit suit with rollerblades.
A man? Not a puppet?
No. I have the fucking episode right here.
Oh, that's the white. It's like a Donnie Darko kind of thing.
No, look at it. That's the white rabbit right there. That dude.
That's
the only puppet on the show.
God.
The only puppet on the show was the Cheshire Cat. This show was on so many drugs.
Oh my God.
Yes.
All right.
This happened.
O.J. Simpson, you deserve jail if you're going to do a job like that.
Oh.
How much they pay him, Scale?
I'm looking. All right, Scratch is now viewing some clips from the episode. No audio, because obviously he's going to...
He is wearing a Letterman-style jacket.
Yes.
With wool and leather sleeves.
Yes.
That... All right, turn that off. I can't handle that. I am befuddled.
Yes.
Dude, that's crazy.
That I did not make a lick of that up. That happened.
That's ridiculous.
For realsies. I am not kidding you. Not you and not the listeners. This happened.
You know all these...
The 90s were wild.
All these bloody entertainment shows and all this trial and all this. I mean, I watched the O.J. Simpson trial live.
Oh, yeah.
Not because I wanted to, because you couldn't get away from it.
Yeah.
You couldn't turn on a channel, you couldn't turn on a news show, you couldn't turn on a regular TV. O.J. Simpson, O.J. Simpson.
Because people couldn't believe that had transpired.
What are you talking about? You're interested in it. You couldn't turn on a bloody television or radio or open a newspaper or get a web page without reading about it.
Mm-hmm.
And all this time. There's these pictures of O.J. Simpson in a football Letterman's jacket.
Talking to the White Rabbit.
Talking to a man in a White Rabbit.
Yes.
Costume.
Yes.
I'm disappointed.
I know you are.
I'm disappointed.
I can hear it in your voice.
These news people.
Yeah, where was the coverage on that?
Where was the coverage on that, man? Where was the paparazzi on that?
Yeah.
I got these images of, hotel detectives chasing O.J. Simpson down the hall, which I'm sure was quite an event. You know, he knows how to jump over stuff.
I'm going to let that lie.
Stuff laying on the floor.
I'm going to let that lie.
Oh, I'm getting lightheaded.
I can tell. You need to breathe.
Oh.
Yes, this happened.
Oh, my God.
That episode never aired for obvious reasons because of the trial.
Really?
But that book exists. It's one of 4 that they made of the show. Like, they only chose 4 episodes to make that weird pop-up book script thing.
Yeah.
Or not pop-up, but picture book script things, and
I'm
I'm
assuming that's the weirdest part of that series.
Well,
I'm assuming it is. I can't imagine. Well,
here's the thing. There's a difference between being weird in the context of that show's universe.
Yeah.
Because, obviously you have the Red Queen, the White Rabbit, you have the March Hare, the Mad Hatter, the Dormouse, you have Alice, Tweedledee and Tweedledum, who are blatant copies of MC Hammer. That is also real.
I can't even...
Don't. No, turn your brain off.
I don't have anything left in the tank for that.
Yeah. Then there's the Cheshire Cat, which was the only puppet, as I said. Well, except for the Dormouse, but you don't see the Dormouse often, apparently.
Gotcha.
So, in terms of being strange inside the context of the universe surrounding those characters,
right.
Obviously it's outlandish because it's Alice in Wonderland, but in terms of absolute what in the actual mind-fuckery, that tops the list. The O.J. Simpson canceled episode. Because it is so far removed from not only our reality, but the reality of the context of that show that
I'm mentally scarred.
No, you're not.
I can just see somebody waking up from, hey man, you ain't gonna believe, it must have been a dream.
Yeah.
It was O.J. Simpson and this big white furry rabbit and I just like, that's grounds for putting somebody into an institution right there.
Yeah, except it actually happened. Which is even worse.
That's a lot worse.
So much worse.
It's not a delusion. You know, I have to say, you know, I always do. I wonder about point A to point B. Hey, man.
Yeah, exactly.
How do you get from, hey, what do you think we ought to do for next season's show? And next thing you know, they're high-fiving each other when they're talking about O.J. Simpson.
Talking to the White Rabbit.
To the White Rabbit.
Yes. Honestly, I had a similar reaction.
And there's like a 80s music montage in the middle.
Yes.
Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, it's back to that whole...
Robot sweeping the floor.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of back to that whole... It's back to that allegory I said about the Hannibal show, where it's like they locked everybody inside of a room and said, okay, everyone gets $2 and 5 grams of cocaine. Now let's make the coolest show ever. That's exactly where that comes from.
Or we'll nail your feet into the floor.
On that much cocaine, I don't think they'd feel it.
Probably not.
Still.
Probably not.
But you understand my meaning. It's like, look, something that sounds good on paper. Don't.
And then to punk out and not release it.
And not release it.
And that's what irritates me.
Yeah.
I mean, you got the Stones to create it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Now, here's the thing. To an extent...
You know, put it out there for everybody to view.
Yeah, okay. Here's the thing. To an extent, the Willie Nelson part kind of makes sense, because that guy's high all the time.
Absolutely.
Gilbert Gottfried was also a weird decision, because that's Gilbert Gottfried.
Yeah, if Willie Nelson doesn't smoke dope for the next 20 years, he's going to be high for the next 20 years.
Exactly.
I mean, he's just smoked that much weed.
Yeah, I honestly think the only reason Gilbert Gottfried got put on that show is because they already had him for Iago anyway. From Aladdin, the parrot.
Yeah.
He was, Iago was Gilbert Gottfried.
Yeah, true.
I think that's the only reason he was even on that show was because he might have been
still under contract or
still under contract.
Probably.
There was a couple other people, I think Terry Hagar was on that show.
Who's that?
I don't know.
Okay, I don't know that one either.
I think she was like, she was like opposite the Red Queen, like antagonistic figure opposite the Red Queen for a couple of episodes. I think it's been a while since I've seen that episode. But then you got O.J. Simpson on there. I don't know how you do that.
I mean, did they write the episode after somebody had a car accident or something?
I don't know. Trust me, the guy
had a complete inversion of their brain chemistry.
Trust me, the guy that runs Defunctland is just as befuddled as we are.
Hey man, you know what'd be cool? What? We get O.J. Simpson in here to talk to a white rabbit.
Oh,
perfect. Genius.
Jim, you're getting a raise. Yeah, it's kind of tough. Yeah, that's tough. That's some mind fuckery right there.
I'm just trying to figure out how long the list was before they got to that name.
There was a couple people.
You know, he was either further down or he was at the top, and that would tell you exactly where the individual was that you would like to not have your children get involved with.
Precisely.
Anyway, yeah.
All right. Yeah, we're coming up to about hour 30 minutes.
Yeah.
About.
Yeah.
You got anything else left to talk about? Because I'm kind of tapped out because that hurt my brain.
Yeah, I know that was tough to get through. We've had a full day.
Yeah, we've had a full day. You know, running around, getting groceries. You know, entertaining guests. Night at the museum.
Yeah, bro came over.
Yeah. I took a nap. Probably should have not have done that before the podcast, but here we are.
Here we are.
And there's some scratching.
The hound of the Baskerville is outside the door.
Yeah, my baby. All right. Well, okay. Well, that's it, folks. I was your host, Bel-E.
And I was your co-host, Mr. Scratch.
And we'll see you guys next Tuesday.
Next Tuesday.
Bye.